I can't tell you what it feels like to hold that book in your hand and see it up there for sale. It's a feeling like no other, and I never, ever get tired of it. Hi, I'm Vinnie Corbo with Veloso Publishing. I'm so glad you decided to take this short class on book publishing. You know, I've been working in publishing most of my life, and I've seen and experienced quite a bit, both with my own books and with other authors. It's a rough road with many holes in it, but just being here is a huge step towards not screwing this up, and even more important, not getting screwed. Look, we've all had someone take advantage of us at some point in our lives. It doesn't feel good, and those jerks should rot in hell. It is very important to me to make sure good people don't get taken, especially when it comes to something they create like a book or a song. You know, we've all heard the stories about music artists who got ripped off by their record labels or managers. Well, guess what? There are plenty of authors that have been ripped off too, and that includes me. So today I'm going to lay out as many truths about publishing and hopefully give you useful information to prevent you from making costly mistakes or even fatal mistakes. Look, there are 4 million books published every year. 4 million. That's roughly 11,000 a day. So why is someone going to choose your book over the other 11,000 that came out on the exact same day, and the 11,000 that came out the next day, and the next day, and the next day? If you're going into this thinking you're going to make a lot of money, then unfortunately you are delusional and very misinformed. The truth is, most people do not make a lot of money from their book. They write them for another reason, and that reason is they have a story to tell. If you want to do something that makes a lot of money, don't be an author. Do something else, anything else. I know you're saying, oh man, you're bumming me out, man. I thought you were going to tell me everything was cool and it's super easy and everything's awesome. Sorry, publishing books is hard. It just is. But it can also be super fun and very, very rewarding if you could just simply avoid the pitfalls. Okay, so there's 3 basic ways of getting your book out there. I'm going to tell you the truth, and hopefully it helps you avoid a disaster. So let's start with getting your book published by a major publisher. The first thing to understand is they don't care if your book is good. They only care if it sells. These people are publishing to make money, period. Oh, you might hear a publisher say they love books and the art of storytelling. BS. What they actually love is money. So unless your book is going to make them money, a lot of money, don't even bother contacting them. And how do you know if your book's going to make them a lot of money? Don't tell me because it's good or unique or it's the first of its kind. That doesn't matter at all. Here's what matters. Number 1, are you famous? If not, you've already got a strike against you. Publishers want to sell a lot of books with very little effort. People buy books because they're either written by someone famous or about someone famous. And remember, fame is a sliding scale. There's Taylor Swift and Kim Kardashian famous, meaning just about anything you put their name on is going to sell. And then there's Love Island or Jersey Shore famous. Just because someone knows who you are doesn't mean they will buy the book you wrote, especially if they think you've never even read one yourself. This also applies to something I call fast fame. Were you a coal miner trapped underground? Did you survive a famous disaster? Did your baby fall down a well? Were you kidnapped and tortured? This is truly about the 15 minutes of fame they talk about. Which means, sure, you might get a book deal, but you got to get the book out fast, and you only have a month or so to sell it. After that, it's old news and forgotten. So the publisher may take your book if you're fast famous, but they still need to see dollar signs. Number 2, do you already have a large built-in audience? Meaning, are you a YouTuber with 4 million subscribers? Are you the leader of a large organization where you know the membership are going to purchase your book? Religious leaders and conspiracy theorists often have large groups of followers just ready to spend their money to consume more of the BS that they're shoveling. Saying my family, friends, and bowling league will buy it won't cut it. Publishers want to know they are going to be able to count on a very specific number of sales in the first week. So, don't have a huge built-in audience? Strike 2. Number 3, are you a highly respected professional in your field? World leaders, titans of industry, military leaders often get book deals. There's definitely an audience for those types of books. People find them inspirational. So, not a highly respected professional in your field? Sorry, strike 3, you're out. Now, that doesn't mean that it's impossible for you to get a book deal with a large publisher, but it does mean the odds are very much against you. Also, if you do get that deal, it's going to be the absolute worst deal imaginable because you have little to no bargaining chips. Remember what I said, publishers care about one thing and one thing only, money. The publishing contract that you get with them will be way, way, way in their favor. Even if you sell lots of books, it is unlikely you will see much of the money. They will, but you won't. And that's because they deserve to. Wait, what do you mean they deserve to? I wrote it. It's my book. Yes, but they paid for it. The publisher will foot the bill for everything from the cover design to the layout to promotion. But guess who actually pays for it in the end? You. That's right. You will get a small percentage of the profit. Pray it's of the gross profit and not the net profit. Then, out of that profit, they deduct all the money they lent you to make the book. You end up paying for everything right down to the last paperclip. And after all that, you still do not own your book. They do. The same is true of every major record label. You can't leave, you can't switch to another publisher, you can't even write another book without giving them right of first refusal. You are trapped. So if it's a bad deal, you'll find yourself in a special hell. Oh, and forget about having any say whatsoever about the cover, the title, or any details. They may bring in a staff writer to rewrite most of it. Now, if you are an already proven bestseller, then you do get some say, but not for a first-timer. Forget it. My wife had her first book published by a large company. When the book came out in Germany, they changed the cover and the title. She was gut-punched. The cover image was straight up humiliating. So, in conclusion, major publishing deals are difficult to get, and once you do get them, they can be a living nightmare. Which leads me to the exact opposite, self-publishing. Self-publishing is fine, nothing wrong with it, but it's not real publishing. No one will take you seriously. No one. Reviewers don't take you seriously, stores and distributors ignore you, and readers in general automatically look down on your book because it's, well, self-published. Oh, you wrote a book? Isn't that adorable? Buy it? No thanks. I'm spending my money on a real book. So if you're one of those authors that just wants to make a book to sell to family and friends, then self-publishing is a good way to go. Like I said, nothing wrong with it. If that's all you want. Side note, be prepared. You're going to end up giving away a lot more of your books than you're going to sell. Frankly, it's just awkward to ask your friends and family to pay money for your artwork. My stance is, forget about your friends and family. Look for people you don't know to buy your book. That's the audience you seek. The next option is one step above self-publishing. That's the ones where you self-publish through a company that you pay to do the bulk of the work. This is a good way to go if you want to self-publish but need a little help. But other than that, it's still self-publishing. People still won't take you seriously. You'll often see these commercials on television. Have a book you want published? We'll handle everything. These companies often charge high rates for their services. I'm not going to mention anyone in particular, but I've had some authors come to me with horror stories. One woman paid over $17,000 to get her book done. Don't believe me? I'll put you on the phone with her. We are still tied up with lawyers trying to get her book back, a book she paid for. The other problem is just about every one of them are bot interfaces. You never actually get to speak to a real person. And if you have an issue, you can fill out a trouble ticket and someone will get back to you in a couple of days. These are soulless services designed to turn projects around with zero consideration for quality or success. Most of them aren't even in the United States. So please, be wary of these types of companies. Some of them disguise themselves as a faith-based company. Trust me, it's all the same company, just with different names to lure in the suckers. If you're the type of person that trusts something because they claim to share the same religious beliefs of you, then I can't really help you. And unless that company has a special relationship with religious institutions where they can actually place your faith-based book, then it's just a fancy label. Now, I know what you're thinking. What the hell, man? You've totally taken all the joy out of this. All the hope is gone. Actually, I haven't. I've just given you the Carfax, the truth about what these 3 ways to publish really involve. I haven't told you not to go with any of these 3. I just told you the truth about what to expect. I also know you're thinking, okay, here comes the sales pitch. Actually, you can end the video right now. Fine. I've done what I think is my service to the community by dispersing the truth about these ways to publish. However, if you are truly interested in another way to publish, stay with me for just a couple more minutes. You'll be happy you did. I have had experience with all 3 of these methods with great frustration and dissatisfaction. So about 15 to 16 years ago, I decided to create something that would work for myself and a few friends. I wanted to create a publishing company where the author had full control and ownership of their books and could retain the majority of the profits. Volosso Publishing was born. Look, I never intended it to grow beyond myself and my friends. I just wanted to create something that protected us and give us a much-needed advantage over the other methods. But you know what they say, create something great and everyone wants to be a part of it. And that's exactly what happened. People would see my friends booked and they'd ask, how did you do this? Referrals led to other referrals and more referrals and more referrals. And when I say I'm the only one doing it this way, I mean it. Volosso is the only company like this. Over the years, my team has grown and we've continued to provide publishing services the way I believe they should be. First, we are real people. You can talk to us on the phone. Imagine that, an actual human. No bots, no call centers. If we don't pick up the phone, somebody from Volosso will call you back soon. All of your emails are answered. I know, this sounds like a little thing, but it's actually rare these days. Personally, I have a special relationship with books. I see them as art, and I treat them as such. It is extremely important to me that each book come out as perfect as possible. It must be beautiful, inside and out, meaning the interior must be gorgeous, pristine, no widows, orphans, or hyphens. Each page flowing into the next, cleanly so that the reader can effortlessly glide through the pages. We don't want them distracted from the story. My team and I work very closely with each author to make sure that every part of the book, from creation, publishing process, and promotional campaign, goes well. We are into it. This is our thing. It's not just a vehicle for us to make money. We are making art. No matter where you are in the creative process, we can help you make it be the best it can be. We are a one-stop shop for everything you could possibly need. If you are at the very beginning, we can help you craft the text with consulting and guidance. We have editors to tweak and perfect your text. We make cool covers and beautiful interiors. We help you with titles and brand positioning. But guess what? You get final say in everything. Why? Because it's your book. Volosso has distribution in over 100 countries. The world is yours, if you want it. We are a legitimate imprint. That means your book is a real damn book. I'm a former public school teacher. I will not only make sure that everything goes right with your book, I will teach you everything you need to know to get the most out of this experience. And that's what it is, an experience. A wonderful, joyous, incredible experience. I can't tell you what it feels like to hold that book in your hand and see it up there for sale. It's a feeling like no other, and I never, ever get tired of it. So, can anybody be with Volosso? No. Sorry, but it's true. I've turned down many people for various reasons. Just because someone is willing to pay doesn't mean Volosso will take them. The bot companies will, because to them, money is money. To me, my team, the art, the craft, the joy, the passion, that's what's most important. If I feel the author doesn't possess these values, it's not fun for us, and we don't do it. If you look at my roster of authors, you'll see that many of them have published multiple books with Volosso. That means they had a positive experience and want to do it again. Publishing books is hard. You have to put in the work, and you have to be passionate. Yes, many of my authors make money, but it's usually the ones who are hustlers and passionate. You can't just write a book and plop it on the internet and expect it to sell. As Bernie Sanders would say, no one cares about your damn book. You have to make them care. You need to do readings, interviews, posts. You need to stay motivated and connected. You have to really believe in your book. If this is you, let's talk. Even if your goal is to sell 10 copies, I'm interested if you're passionate about your story. I'm Vinnie Corbo. Keep on reading and keep on writing.